Big Shot is a new Disney Plus original series that dropped its first episode today on Disney Plus, and it stars John Stamos as a basketball coach who is teaching a class full of girls or of college girls basketball. So yeah, this is a little bit interesting for a Disney Plus show because now I think for the most part, unless we're talking documentaries or National Geographic shows, every single Disney Plus original show has been based on a franchise. The only exception to that was The Right Stuff. Now, The Right Stuff was not made by Disney, but this show is. This is made by ABC, which is a television division that Disney owns. Um, and so The Right Stuff was actually created by Warner Brothers, and they put that on Disney Plus. And unfortunately, that show was canceled. So what I'm going to employ throughout all of these videos is that if you want this show to succeed, if you like this show, tweet about it, share about it, talk about it, watch it, promote it. Because Disney is very much in a market where they feel that anything that is not right off the bat an immediate success, especially if it's not connected to a franchise that they own, that they have the rights to, it's gone. And so yeah, I recommend that you support this show, that you don't be like, oh, I'm going to wait till it's all out, because I think they definitely look at the ratings each week the show drops. And week to week, if the ratings don't have good numbers, it doesn't matter how much the show's being binged later. I think it's also the ratings as it comes out too. So keep that in mind with this show. I recommend that you all go check it out. I think this was a good show, and let's get into this episode. So I mentioned that John Stamos is the star of this show and this ABC production. So I think when you look at the show, it's very different from the other shows on Disney Plus for that reason. Like the other shows, because ABC shows tend to have a little bit more production value. Also, the atmosphere of the show is very different. It kind of has more of a mature tone, because if I guarantee when they greenlit the show, they didn't necessarily plan for it to go to Disney Plus, and if they did, cool. But I think they probably wanted to make this show so that if they wanted to put it on cable television, ABC channel, they could do that. Or if they decided, hey, no, this show will work better on Disney Plus, they could kind of do both. And I think that's what they did. And I think that's nice, because for that reason, I hope that they actually do put more ABC kind of shows on Disney Plus, because the production value of the show is really good. But also, this show is treated with much more of a mature tone. And here's the thing about Disney Plus: it's all family friendly content for the most part. But so I don't mean mature in the sense, oh, there's sex, violence, any of that stuff. No, I mean the relatable issues that these people have to deal with are normal everyday issues. And I think they explore that really well in this show. I think some of the dialogue in this episode isn't the best, but I think it's still very good. So let's kind of get into some of the parts of this episode. So in this first episode, we meet Jonathan Stamos' character, who was a coach for a pretty prestigious basketball team, and unfortunately, he lost his gig because, he threw a chair at a referee, and that doesn't look good. So he's assigned to teach college basketball girls, because they're the only people who will take him. So he very much has an aggressive approach. He hurts the one girl's feelings, insults her weight in front of all of her friends on this team. He takes the star of the team, the best player on the team, says, "You're out of here." That's what he does. He very much is a brute force here, and and we can kind of see that and he's like claiming that all his life is basketball, and you can kind of see where his character is very obviously gonna go, but I don't think this show is about him. Like, obviously it's about him in the sense that, he's the main character and you follow him, but it's also about these girls and what they're going to grow as a team. You can tell that they obviously don't like him, they're threatening to quit, things like that, but they're trying to kind of figure out what his deal is, and you can tell that they're going to go this strong bond with him. And I think this is a really solid pilot. I think it really sets up everything you need to know about this show. And I think this is a show that a lot of older audiences who maybe have kids and they have Disney Plus for that reason, but they also would like a show to watch that maybe they wouldn't necessarily watch with their kids. Not because it's like, oh, this is inappropriate to watch in front of your kids. Not at all. I don't think that. I think it's because it's just not a show that they would like or relate to. Again, we're dealing with college basketball students, which, is another thing to put into perspective. Most of these Disney Plus shows like this, they usually have high schoolers because, and they're, because high schoolers are Disney's thing, what I'm talking about. But these are college students, so they can deal with more issues and things like that. And I think that's a fun thing to explore with this show. I do think the show is held back a little bit. You can tell that they probably want to explore more with it, but they're probably not able to because of the fact that it is a Disney Plus show. But who knows? They might be able to maybe kind of test those waters a little bit. But this show has a very, very solid pilot here. I'm excited to see where the show goes. And I don't know. Well, I believe there's supposed to be 10 episodes in the season, dropping every single week. So I'll be reviewing them every single week, this is a good time to drop this show because, next week we have the end of Falcon and the Winter Soldier. And because that show ends, we're not going to have as many shows to be talking about. Because on Disney Plus, it's really just going to be Mighty Ducks in this show until The Bad Batch comes out in May, which comes out May the 4th. And then we also have, other shows dropping in May too. So, keep your eyes on Disney Plus. Cool stuff. But yeah, I really enjoyed this pilot. That was a great episode. And I'm excited to see where the show goes next.